Okay. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Well, hi, my name is Juliana Nunez. I am the Web Communications Associate with Woodstock Institute, and I'm here to show you our new online data tool, which is the interactive map tool. At Woodstock, our mission is to create a just financial system in which lower wealth persons and communities and people in communities of color can achieve economic security and community prosperity. Now, the interactive map combines years of data into one simple visualized tool. The map contains data as current as 2013 and goes back as far as 2008, allowing individuals and organizations to track trends in areas such as mortgages, vacant properties, and foreclosures. The data is broken down geographically into census tracts, counties, core-based statistical areas, and municipalities. In addition to the visualized data, users are also able to download the data for their own analyses and purposes. So what does the map visualize? This is a list of everything the map visualizes. You have the main subjects, and then you have it broken down even further. I won't go over everything, but as you can see, we cover a variety of subjects, and they go back several years. Now, where do you begin when you open the map? When you first open the tool, the menu on the right will guide you through all the data. And I'm just going to show you right. Okay, so this is our map right here. And this is the menu on the right side of the screen that will guide you through everything. The menu allows you to choose different subjects, years, and topics. So you can choose a different data set you would like to see visualized, which year that data set, and everything like the geographic boundaries, the quintile legends. You basically can see everything.
Is that what area is that? Is that like Cook and surrounding counties?
These are Chicago foreclosures.
Oh, but like the area, six
yeah.
county region.
Yes,
okay,
it's Cook, Lake, DuPage, Kane, and Will.
Okay.
Great.
And we also have a separate map with the rest of Illinois.
Oh,
but they're
right.
two different data vendors, so two different maps.
Right.
So the interactive map gives you the chance to analyze both trends on a larger county level and on trends across Illinois. So as you can see, these kind of big picture, it covers a lot of area and gives you a really broad representation of the data. Or you can get more specific. You can adjust the menu so that the map is broken down into counties, just like I did right here. And the first image is the statewide trend, which it covers a lot of data and doesn't really give you a lot of specific information. However, you can click on each county to get more specific numbers. Now I would like to demonstrate that for you. So let's say we're looking at housing, and we broke it down by county, which should happen. Oh, my computer's being fussy. Okay, we broke down mortgage by county, because that seems to be the area my computer likes the most. So, as you can see, that covers a lot of data. So, let's say you want to look at the percent mortgages for owner-occupied homes in Cook County. All you simply have to do is click on Cook County itself. And it gives you the specific number, and as well it gives you the rank, the quintile rank. But how do you contextualize this data? You have the numbers, but how do they all relate to each other? Now that you have more specific numbers, you can contextualize them with other data, giving you a clear idea of how these numbers affect each other. So to do that, all you simply have to do is click on Analysis, and you can see it being compared to the rest of the Illinois. Very simple, and it gives you a better idea of how trends go. And each data set is broken down into 5 different quintiles. Each smaller geographic unit is categorized into one of 5 equally sized categories. based on larger geography. For example, if you compare municipalities to the state of Illinois, each municipality will be ranked based on how it compares to other municipalities in Illinois. From the bottom 20% of all municipalities, which is the first quintile, to the top 20% of all municipalities, which is the fifth quintile. All the census tracts, counties, CBSAs, and municipalities are colored according to the quintile they fall under. So you see all these lovely colors here, they give you an idea of which quintile the counties fall under. Now, you can get even more specific with by selecting different boundaries on the map. So the map is broken down into 5 different boundaries. No boundary, which is the default state, congressional, state senate, state house, and Chicago community area. Now when you can select these boundaries right here under geography and boundaries. And right now we're in no boundary, that's the default state, nothing is seen. But let's say you click on congressional boundaries. Are you gonna show up for me?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
When it says no boundary, but it's always showing the county boundaries by default, right?
Yeah,
Those are always there.
It shows like county, census tract, CBSAs.
I see. Okay.
The
But-
legislative boundaries are just overlays. It doesn't aggregate the data to those geographies.
There we
It
go.
just shows you.
Oh, I see.
Right, so
Yeah.
similar.
So I selected state house legislative boundaries, and as you can see, the map itself is not cleared. It's just you simply have the legislative boundaries overlaid with the existing data. Yes.
So, seeing this export as PDF and SCSV at the bottom, is that the raw data that's going into these maps?
Yes.
It's not totally raw, because we have some limitations from our data vendors. We can't put property level data out for most things, but it's aggregated to the same levels that are displayed on the map.
And the most granular you guys get is by census tract?
Yes.
Okay.
I also would like to demonstrate the search function on our map. So I'm just going to go back. So let's say I want to find out the different incomes in my community. Now, all I would do is select income, get rid of by, select by census tract, and all I need to know is my zip code. So I just type my zip code in. And see, this is my neighborhood right here. And this is around the census tract I live in. So if I click on it, I can see that the average household income in my census tract is a little over 75 grand. Oops. Now I just want to show you some examples of what else you can do with our visualized map. So let's say I wanted to look at the employment rate in Belmont-Cragin and compare it to Cook County. So you're comparing something, a comparatively small data set with something much larger. All you have to do, first and foremost, is locate Belmont-Cragin, which is
Can you search for it?
You can't search for
Right
the
here.
community area.
Oh,
but
right.
You can search for address, zip code, stuff.
Okay,
now
But
we
you
have.
can turn on the boundary.
right.
Yeah.
I was just about to show you, like we can kind of see where Belmont-Cragin is, but how do we know which census tracts are actually in the Belmont-Cragin community? All you have to do is select Chicago community area boundary, and everything is highlighted. Now we can't give you an overall piece of data that covers all of Belmont-Cragin, but as you can see, you can select the different census tracts within the community, and it kind of gives you an idea of what the different incomes are. Now, right now, this income is being compared to the state of Illinois, but we want to compare it to Cook County. All you have to do is switch from state of Illinois to county that Belmont-Cragin's in. And I'm going to show you. Whoops. the numbers change. You can't really see it because it keeps clicking out, but if you actually watch the quintile, you'll see right now we're being compared to county, and watch how the quintiles change. Now we're being compared to the state. So it gives you a better idea how these different number data relate to each other. Now now we can look at a big overall trends that go across several years. So how are different countings faring in the aftermath of the Great Recession? Have foreclosures decreased after 2010, and which counties were hit the hardest? Now, we're not going to answer every specific county, but just by zooming out a lot. Okay, I want to get most of Illinois. There we go. Go back to no boundary. So let's say we want to look at the amount of foreclosure filings in Illinois, broken down by county. Now this is what it looks like in 2013. Let's go all the way back to 2008. I can see there's less the counties that fall in their quintile. But as you go through the years, you see more and more data. So without even clicking on a specific county, you immediately get a visualized idea of how the foreclosure filings change throughout the years. And if you really wanted to, you can start comparing county by county and seeing how each one fared in the aftermath of the Great Recession. Now we want to see how many long-term vacancies are owner-occupied and how this has shifted over the years. Oh, sorry, owner-occupied unit. So all you have to do is we're going to go to the housing and change to percent owner-occupied. And percent owner-occupied, it kind of just gives you an idea of how many homes are owned as opposed to who's renting. And once again, you can click through the years, and it changes right before your eyes, showing you which counties have changed the most, or which have changed the least. Okay. You have any questions?
Can you speak about these data vendors and about the data that they're collecting? Like, how do they get it?
Sure.
Yeah.
So some of the data on the site is publicly available data, like a lot of employment and income is from the census. We also have data vendor called Info USA, which basically tries to do the ACS every year with a smaller sample. So we get some of that employment and income data from Info USA. The mortgage data is from the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act, which is every mortgage originated or applied for and denied in the whole country. So that is publicly available and free, and you don't have to get it from us. You can get it from the federal regulators. And then the foreclosure vendors, it's this whole convoluted system where the foreclosure vendor in the 6-county region, Record Information Services, will take every foreclosure that is filed in each county and digitize it, and then sells it back to the county in a digital form, and also to us, and then we put it on our map. And then the rest of Illinois is a different vendor called Realty Tract that we get that data from, with a similar system. So.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I saw in the pull down data only goes back to 2008 and also doesn't have 2014 yet. It's only been over for a few days, so this is probably not. Are there plans to go back farther? And also, when do you think 2014 data is going to be in there?
I think the data depends on what the data set. For example, Home Mortgage Disclosure Act data takes a really long time to appear. So I think there'll be different timelines based on when it becomes available to us and then how long it takes us to process it. And right now there aren't plans to go back further, but it's something we'll think about. It's just a matter of capacity. So.
Any more? Yeah, back there.
Yeah, I'm curious about the technology stack behind this. How do you make all these pretty data visualizations show up?
We hire other people.
Who are really nice.
Yeah.
It was development seed, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Julie is the one who interfaces with it. Do you want to talk about what you do?
Sure. Yeah, Development C designed the map, and they gave us all the script for it and the coding. And what I do is, say we get 2014 data. Well, my job would be to put that in by adding it into the code. So right now the code stops at 2013. So I would go into the code at 2014, make sure all the way the code measures the data is the same, and you just simply update.
Cool. So they built you guys some tools for uploading the data yourself.
Well, yeah, they basically gave Julie a crash course on some of the script, how to tweak the scripts.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and I think it's on GitHub actually. So if
Yeah.
Oh, under development seeds?
It's in the Woodstock.
Oh,
Woodstock.
wow. Ooh, Woodstock Institute.
That's our only thing on there. But yeah.
Cool.
In 6 years, we get to update all the census tracts
Yes.
stuff
Yeah.
ourselves.
Right.
I plan
All
on
right.
taking.
Well, I have one other site. Oh, I'm about to show the compendium.
Oh, sorry, Katie.
Trying to pull me off stage. So that is, this was just launched in November, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty new. We also launched around the same time, basically our version of a data portal. Wait, I don't know our own URL. So this is our data compendium, we called it. It's a CCAN site that we built to try first to make our data more accessible to people who may not be interested in what we think are interesting visualizations or analysis, and they want to do their own analysis. And it was also a way, we were funded by the MacArthur Foundation to try to make an archive of the data that the Metro Chicago Information Center collected. If you've been working in Chicago in this field for a while, you probably ran into them, and they had all this great information on a broad variety of topics, from anywhere from education to health to mortgages and community development. And so there are 54 data sets that we managed to put up here. A lot of it now is on the City of Chicago's data portal. So we sort of made a judgment call. It doesn't make sense to keep downloading something from the data portal and uploading it here. So this part of the site is really a historical archive, but the benefit of it is that it goes back further in history than some of the City of Chicago site. So if you're interested in looking further back when you're doing your analysis, you can look here. There's migration, tax returns, all sorts of stuff that they have.
Oh, there's that Info USA you mentioned.
Yes, although...
Have they let you post?
No. This is a list of variables that you can ask us for custom analyses for. The Info USA data is expensive. But if you have particular questions you ask, we can provide technical assistance with it. And so then we also have our own data that we assemble on this site, which is more on our issue areas, which is a lot of economic justice issues, access to banking services, predatory lending. So we have things that are similar to what's on our map that are over here, but also a few other things that aren't on there. We have shape files on here of common geographies if you need something like that. Yeah, some of these don't have the raw data on them, but give you some information about what data is that we can analyze for you. But there's a few ways to navigate this site. You know, there's the groups that divide it into the Woodstock and the MCIC data. Everything is tagged. You can see that along the side here. We have it tagged by file type, and then by license as well. You know, the ones that are not open, again, you have to contact us for more information about. And then, of course, you can search. And so, for example, if you're interested in foreclosure data, so we have, again, the separate downstate Illinois and 6-county region data. It's pretty similar to a Socrata functionality. You can preview the information, although if it's too large, it might not show up, and then download it yourself. There's metadata about it that shows the coverage. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You can download the data and answer your own questions with it. And then in the future, our plans are to better document some of the data. We expand the number of data sets that we have, and if we have some that are only available in the Chicago area, our goal is to get the whole state of Illinois. And then some pie in the sky idea, you know, there's all these different data portals in the city of Chicago. I know the official government ones, but also I think CMAP is working on one. And there's been a lot of talk about how hard it is to find the right data that you want. There's all these different sites. And, you know, there's a possibility to try to federate the sites. So, you know, say if CMAP site was federated with ours and someone searched for zoning information on our site, their search results would pop up. So that would be a way to try to centralize some of this great data set knowledge that's in the city of Chicago. But that's just an idea. There's no work that's been done on it yet. And some challenges we've had just in general with this data work. We're a nonprofit. Everything is grant funded, and it's a lot easier to get grants to build a flashy new site than to maintain it over time. And so now we've launched 3 sites over the past couple of years and don't want to launch more. We want to keep the ones we have up to date and usable. So if you guys have sitting on pots of money, let me know. And then, yeah, just limitations for some of the private data sets that we have are frustrating as well. We'd like to put out more than we currently have, but we really can't sometimes. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions? All right.
So you guys chose CCAN for your data portal. Mm-hmm. Did you consider Socrata or any other options, and why'd you go with CCAN?
I think, well, I didn't make that decision, but I think cost was a very prime driver of it. Uh-huh. Yes, it's open source, and I think that was one of the main reasons. So, and we also have a different site that's more user-friendly, I guess, for people who are not data savvy, that's built on Tableau that we built in-house. And this has been up for about 1.5 years now, but it has, you know, if people just want to look up how many foreclosures are in South Lawndale, see how it compares over time, they don't want to deal with the CSV or anything like that, they can just go to this part of our site as well. So, yeah.
I'm just curious if you're aware of any interesting uses, like by journalists or anyone else, of the data sets.
This just came out in November, so I haven't, yeah, not yet. I hope that there will be interesting uses soon, and yeah, we've got to keep spreading the word.
What data set do you really think is super valuable that you think would just be awesome for someone to work with?
Well, I mean, I think the mortgage data is really cool because, again, it's every application on every property. It's got tons of information about the borrower. You can sort of find proxies about property values by looking at the amount of the mortgage. You can find how much the borrower's income was, their race and gender, And you can, we look at it to look at disparities in mortgage origination, which has huge impacts for how people can build wealth in this country. Most of people's wealth is in their house. So we look at, are African Americans getting denied mortgages at disproportionate rates? Are women getting denied mortgages? But, it's such a rich data set that I think more could be done with it. So.
And it's down to the individual level? It's that granular?
Yeah. So. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.